What do you think happens if I keep it all to myself?
Your hair becomes white, you get dandruff, you become sweaty.
She's describing me after school.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Kids Know Best, where we ask kids for advice. I'm Daryl, and today's topic is about work. Let's meet our team of experts.
Hi, I'm Alex and I'm 10 years old.
Hi, I'm Bella and I'm 8.5 years old.
Entering the workforce for the first time is not easy, and you need to prepare yourself to impress your boss. Let's kick things off by asking the kids some job interview questions. Okay, first off, what is your dream job?
To be a business owner.
To be a business owner? What business would that be?
I don't really know, maybe like just to sell handmade things.
I want to be a vet because I really like animals. They look very cute and they have very cute expressions.
What's your favorite animal?
A lizard, even though it's an insect.
A lizard? Or what? A lizard? Okay. Lizards do scare me a little bit. The next question is, if you're in a job interview, sometimes they would ask you this: why should we hire you?
I feel like I would make fair prices because some businesses they have very high prices which are very unreasonable. So
Wow, very astute.
I can approach animals very calmly. Some animals they're actually not supposed to be touched, so sometimes I can approach them very calm and they actually don't really bite or do stuff. So I think I can be a vet when I grow up.
Okay, so this is another question that employers really like to ask, and it's, why are you the right person for this job?
I feel like I can interact well with customers. When I see objects, I do realize, hey, this isn't really a good pricing for the object. So sometimes I like to create better prices in my head.
This is a very important question. What are your strengths and weaknesses?
I think my strengths is that if something doesn't go how it was supposed to, I will keep trying until it does. I won't really give up very easily.
So you would say you're someone that's persistent?
Yeah.
Okay, what about you?
So my weakness, I don't know.
Oh, you don't know your weakness?
No.
So
In other words, she doesn't have a weakness.
No, I don't have.
Whoa.
And my strength is that when somebody scolds me or do something, I think a bit, then I just go on.
She doesn't
I go on with life.
She doesn't get brought down easily by others, I think.
Some people might say some nasty things and you just move on quickly. Okay, that's a very important skill to have, not just in work, but life as well. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
An old granny.
An old granny?
5 years.
How old are you now? I don't think 13 years old qualifies as an old granny.
In 5 years, probably in secondary, trying to make my way to my dream.
Probably in a new school that I might not like.
Now the big question that needs solving is, should you pretend to be someone else during a job
Not
interview?
at all.
No, because
If you pretend to be somebody else, you're gonna get caught, then the whole thing's gonna go on and you're gonna get fired. It's no point.
because they're hiring someone who they think it's someone else, and then once you're hired and you go through that job the first day, then the person who hired you realizes they made a big mistake.
So you're saying that the lie will eventually be exposed?
Yeah.
Do you believe in fake it till you make it?
No.
No. A resounding no. I like that both of you value that honesty, because honesty is a very important currency, especially when you're grown up. This one's an interesting one. What do I do if my boss doesn't like me?
If your boss doesn't like you, that would never happen.
Yeah.
That would never happen. If you already know that your boss doesn't like you, then you just say, I'm sorry, can I fire myself? Bye-bye. And you fire yourself.
If you're that kind of person, you avoid your boss, or you just try to make a better impression of yourself. You just buy him coffee.
Just buy him coffee. You might be a good worker, but sometimes they might not like you as a person.
This is sad.
It is sad, but as Alex says, coffee solves everything. Next question is, what would you say I should bring with me on my first day of work?
Bring a suitcase inside, a toothbrush, some deodorant, papers, a pen, an eraser and a pencil just in case,
Stationery.
and a book to read for silent reading.
Things that you should have on your desk, like a pencil holder and a notebook.
What should I do to achieve work-life balance?
Pay attention. You should not do other things that are not related to your job.
I feel like you should have a healthy lifestyle and eat healthy, wake up and sleep at a fixed time basically.
Okay, now the big question that needs solving is, if you found out your boss has done something dishonest at work, what would you do?
I was gonna say leak information, but that's really bad. So I would just like tell some other workers about him,
I think you should tell the boss that you do some, and then
like how
then
you
he-
feel about it.
Yeah, and then if he still lies, then obviously you're gonna tell that people like that. People also ask him, and then soon he'll get more traumatized, and then he will fire himself.
But let's say if my boss did something even more serious. What if he stole money from the company?
You got to say, admit it. I know you lied to me. Then he doesn't admit it. You say I'm firing myself.
I mean, there's always someone like in charge of the boss, right? So you have to tell them.
Okay, and that's called a HR department. Okay, so what should I tell the HR department?
I think you would have to write like a letter to them again, like saying that what you know about like what the boss did, so that they can like do something about it, because it's actually pretty serious if they stole money.
Let's ask our little experts a bit more about how to deal with workplace conflicts. What do you do if you have to do a group project with someone that you don't like at work?
That happens to me all the time.
In primary school?
Yes.
You do the work with them, but if you just don't do it, then after you're done, you just tell the boss.
You
The
have
boss.
to be like very tolerant of them, because it's just someone you don't like. Control
Deal
yourself
with it.
and deal with it.
What if it's a friend of yours, but you don't like working with this person when it comes to work?
Like you just go up to that person and say,
Politely.
you're not really contributing. Can you please like contribute more time and like sometimes help with the work?
Softly like let them know that this is how I feel about them, like when we're doing the group work, because it probably could just be me, like maybe it's just me thinking. They could probably be doing some work too.
It's good to understand what the other person is going through. Yeah, it's good that you want to at least talk to them to try and resolve it. How do you deal with pressure or stress in school?
I like to talk to my friends about it, or sometimes do some hobbies to wind down.
It's not good for your health if you keep stress or angriness to yourself. If you let it out, then it's better.
Yeah, sometimes you explode and you'll be like very angry, and you won't sleep enough at night, and that will affect your health.
Okay, and now we are at the final big question. How do you deal with mean bullies at work?
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
no.
I heard this from my teacher. First, the bully says mean things to you. They usually approach people who get very like easily angry and like frustrated. So the person goes up to you and says, "You're an idiot," and you say, "Oh, thank you. That's so kind of you. Are you like that too?" Actually, they'll get more frustrated and they'll stop bothering you.
Reverse psychology a bit.
But if he starts punching you, please just run away. Actually, work is quite important because it's a big thing in life, and soon a lot of people need it. If not, then they won't really have a house. Something sometimes can happen, like you don't like somebody and you might work with somebody.
There are also some like serious things that can happen, like that are not really related to the work. Like if your boss is stealing money, and what to do if you find out like something like that.
When you work on something, it has to also be fun. If not, then there's no point.
I feel like it should be a balance of both.
I thought this experience was incredibly interesting. I got to interview some really bright kids today, and it's the sort of answers that I feel some adults would need to hear. Honesty really is key, like maintaining that authenticity and not trying to hide behind a facade. If you have a problem with someone, the best way to resolve it is to actually confront the problem rather than just sucking it up and taking it all in. Ultimately, you do have to prioritize your own health, physical or mental. Honestly, it might seem really simple, but it's actually about planning after you've graduated. There are so many things that you would actually have to plan on your own. You're not being spoon-fed by society anymore. You're not being spoon-fed by an organization or a college anymore. So there are so many things that you actually do have to plan beforehand. Thanks for watching.
If you like this video, please remember to comment,
Like, share, and subscribe.
Bye!
Bye.